So if you have children, young man, and I say young man, and I'm talking to you, 50-year-old man, 55-year-old man, you haven't spoken to your children in a week, in a month, in a year, in 3 years, in 5 years, call them.
You ain't prepared yet? Let's go. God over everything. He's over everything. God over everything. Yeah. He's over everything. Pray over everything.
It's time to restore that. If you haven't spoken to your grandchildren in those time periods, call them. It's time to restore that. Forgiveness is important. Apologies are necessary. Forgiveness is important, but apologies are necessary. It's time for you to be the man God has called you to be and say, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Can we fix this? Can we heal this? Because I love you, because I care for you, because I want what's best for you, because this isn't the life you should be living. Now, this isn't dependent on what you can give them financially, because that's the first thing I'm already hearing it. Well, I don't have anything to give them. Fine, give them you. You're more valuable than any other gift that you could give them. Give them you. Give them your love and your attention, your affection. Give them your listening ear. I'm going to say this. One of the best things I did, and I did it probably 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. One of the best things I ever did. I sent a text to all of my children. And I said, I want you to tell me, what kind of father have I been and how do you see me as a dad? And what kind of man have I been and how do you see me as a man? And I wanted them to be as brutally honest as they could be. Not disrespectful. We're not cursing someone out and calling them names and saying, that's not the point. But I wanted brutal honesty. I wanted the truth. I wanted to know what was in their heart. And I'm going to tell you, men, I'm going to tell you. And I'm speaking very transparently here. What's the best thing I'd ever done in my relationship with my children? It didn't heal everything at that moment when I did it, but it allowed me to see what they were seeing. It allowed me to hear what they were thinking. And they wanted to know, could they be as free as they want? Yes. Tell me what you think, how you feel, what you see. And then we were able to discuss it and able to talk about it. I was able to apologize where I felt I needed to apologize. And even in places that I didn't feel I needed to apologize, I still apologized. That's what we call maturity, man. We grow up. We have to grow up. We have to stop playing. There's no tomorrow to sit back and think that these things are just going to fix themselves. They're not. The statistics show they're not. The world isn't getting better, it's getting worse. So how do you want your children to fare in this world? Do you want them to walk through this world without the leadership of a man? Do you want them to walk through this world without the protection of a man? Do you want them to walk through this world without the standards of the moral compass of a man? I don't for my kids. And I don't think you do either for your kids or your nieces or your nephews or your grandkids. I don't think you do. So now, before you can go help them, before you can go fix that, before you can mend any relationships, you've got to get to a place in the Word of God to where you're walking in wholeness, to you're walking completely with Him, to where you're trusting in Him. And that's where we're going to start and get to. Today, I want you to hear the grim truth of what your absence has done to society. Did you hear that? This is the truth of what your absence has done to society. We have to stop blaming others for what's happened here with us. We have to stop blaming others for our own failings and our own irresponsible behavior. We have to stop blaming others for our own immaturity. We have to be accountable for what we are, who we are, and understand whose we are. Next time we come back together, we're going to define a man, because many people can't define what a man is. And it's true. If you can't define a man, what a man is, it's hard for you to be a man. You can't be what you can't define. So let's find out what the definition is. Let's get us walking in our assignment in the right way. We're going to talk about that, because now you see your impact, your absence, the impact your absence has had. I don't know how much more plain to put it than to say, this is your responsibility, young man. This is your God-given responsibility. This manly minute is here to shock and wake you up and get you in a place to where you can say, God, I'm done being the man that I was. I now need to be the man you need me to be. Not just my life depends on it, but the life of my children and my grandchildren and my nieces and my nephews. Their lives depend on it. You're talking about breaking generational curses. I got a friend, and he told me, this is a couple years ago, he told me this, and it still rings true. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, he told me. He said, he has a child that he had when he was younger, lives with her mother. And the mother lives in public housing. And the mother of that, his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, lives in public housing. And her mother lives in public housing. And now the daughter lives in public housing. And none of them have a man. Now, I'm not disparaging anybody that lives in public housing, because we have to do what we have to do. And I'm not disparaging anybody. You live there. It is what it is. That's the situation. I get it. There's no shade, as they say. None. But when will the generational curse break? You got 4 generations living in the same housing project. 4. And none of them have a man. None of them. Not a single one. The statistics are real. The data is here. All you have to do is look at it. And once you look at it, you'll begin to see, I have a part to play in that. Let's see where I can break this generational curse. Now, I'm going to end with this, and this is real important. As we talk about these things, and as we go through the Word of God, I want you men to understand something. I'm not your leader. Let me say it again. I'm not your leader. Jesus is our leader. He leads the way. I'm also not your pastor. I have a pastor. I love my pastor. I thank God for my pastor, because he changed my life. I'm walking in my assignment now because of my pastor. I am not here in this place, in this day, in this time, on this channel to become your leader or to create a group of followers that solely rely on my voice. I'm merely here to give you instruction, to show you, to be used by God as a vessel to see him. To see him. So if you don't have a pastor, my recommendation, and so is God's, because they gave us gifts as pastor, is to find one. Find a pastor. Find a pastor that will feed your soul, will feed your spirit with the word of God, and will change your life. If you want to come to my ministry, the ministry that I belong to, and be under my pastor, send me an email. It'll be in the link in the description, and I'll make sure you can get to our ministry. But find a pastor. That's not me. I'm not your pastor. So I just want to help you get to a place where you understand your role with God. He's just using me, allowing me to walk in my assignment so that you can be awakened to the things of the Spirit. We are in deep, perilous times. This isn't the time to play. So find a church, or find a pastor rather, and that church, find one that's going to build your soul. I love my pastor. He always says, Give me 2 years and I will change your life. I've been there 10. I'm never leaving. Because in 2 years, he did change my life. And in 10 years, it's totally different than I ever thought it would be. So I'm here to tell you now, now's the time to change. Find your relationship with God. Find your relationship with a pastor. And then begin to heal the relationships that are around you, whether they be wives or girlfriends or children or parents. Heal those relationships. Once you begin to do these things, as we go into other aspects of this, as we talk about money situations or other familial situations, because you've been made whole in those relationships and your relationship with God, those other transformations or other transformational areas will be easier. We're going to do this. Remember, my goal is I do want you to hit the like button. I do want you to hit the share button. I do want you to hit the subscribe button. But my goal isn't to create this group of people that solely rely on my voice. I want you to do those things because the algorithm will create a larger swell of people who really need to hear this. This is the Manly Minute. And that's what we're going to keep calling it. We're going to make this grow so you can be the man you want to be. I'm Kavin James. Thank you for tuning in to the Manly Minute.